Hello, all you lovely people. Welcome back to another episode of the Absolutely WSL and Women's Championship Show. Even though we don't have any championship anymore, I feel like a bit of me is missing. I feel like we're missing out on so much football that we're only talking about a couple of fixtures. But yes, thank you and welcome back to everyone joining us. We do have Rosie with us tonight as well. She will be along in a few moments. But until then, it's nice that I just have one Chloe on this time, so we don't have to go between nicknames and such like. Chloe, how are you doing? It's been an emotional week, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm doing okay at the moment. It's tough week. So might need some tissues later.
I was going to say we'll have the tissues at the ready. We'll have the wine at the ready for later when we do have a full Chelsea section. Do not fear. And Paul, how are you doing? You excited for this evening?
I think everybody else is. Like, I genuinely got about 2 or 3 messages after the Man United Liverpool game going, are we going to get a Paul rant this Wednesday? I'm like, maybe.
Maybe, yes.
So, yes.
We're ready. So if you haven't already, Paul will be talking about the Man United match. So get your popcorn, get a drink, settle in, and we're just going to enjoy, to be honest, for the rest of the evening. Hello to everyone in the chat already. Simon, nice and early. Hello. How's it hanging? Well, as we're hanging, I thought I'd go for a blue theme tonight with my shirts. That's the hanging part we'll talk about. But yeah, we are all good, Simon. Thank you very much. Now, let's talk about... It's been a completely mental week. We've had shock announcements. We've had 2 very different types of send-off for legends of the game, and we are going to talk about it all. So please do stay with us. Now, like I said earlier, without the Women's Championship, it feels like we've only got a couple of things to talk about, but we're going to do it right. We're going to really go into it. And where better to kick us off than a game that definitely had me at the edge of my seats. Paul, it was Everton 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Now, especially the way Everton have been playing recently, it really was a game of 2 halves. And I genuinely thought Everton might have nicked it at one point. So tell us all about it. 2-2.
I mean, the short story of the game doesn't really tell the story of the game, because the simple story of the game is, 2-2. Everton went 2-0 up in the first 15 minutes with, and I hope I get these names right, because I know WSL Names is keeping an eye on this, and I've got my commentary reputation. Sarah Holmgaard scoring first, and then Justina van Hyvermaet scoring 5 minutes later. And then, if you look at the stats, it was pretty much backs to the wall some of the time for Everton, because the second half, 2 quick goals from Drew Spence and Beth England in the first few minutes of the second half. But the thing that really struck me is the shot disparity and Everton's sheer, grit defensively, which is something that Brian Sorensen has really instilled in them. Because when you look at the shots, Everton had 9 shots, Spurs had 26.
I was going to talk to you about that. Yeah, absolutely.
And half of them were on target, so 13 shots on target. So Spurs got 4 more shots on target than Everton had in the entire game. Possession was fairly close. Pass accuracy was fairly close. All of the other stats were pretty close, but it's just the sheer amount of shots that Spurs had.
Yeah.
And if I'm Robert Villahammer, I'm looking at that going, that's a little bit worrying ahead of an FA Cup final that we've had that many shots and only scored twice.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because it looked like first half, Spurs had a couple of decent chances. Drew Spence missed a sitter, didn't she? It went off the post. And it was like, oh, how's that not got in? But yeah, it just seemed like after the break, maybe almost a little bit of complacency from Everton, 2-0 up, thinking, yeah, we can keep this, we can keep it going. And then suddenly Spurs...
because
they came out of nowhere. You got it back.
Yeah, and you look at the way Brian Sorensen sets up as well. Partly out of necessity with the way his team, but Everton playing a kind of a 5-4-1. So it's not like they're playing an open formation. So Spurs managing to get 26 shots against a team set up to defend You know, if I'm Robert Villaham and I'm looking at that going, well, we must be doing something right. We just can't finish. But I will say, I am now a huge fan of Courtney Brosnan as well.
Can we just take a moment for Courtney Brosnan? Because, my God, what an absolute powerhouse she is. She's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Oh, Rosie. Hello.
I mean,
hello.
She's...
hello.
You made it. You joined us.
The Chelsea Mafia are here now.
Yeah.
Both wearing
2-1-2. Sorry, Paul. We got excited.
But what was it? Oh, yeah. So we were singing the praises of Courtney Brosnan, who is the loudest goal. She's like Peter Schmeichel, for the people who remember Peter Schmeichel. She's the loudest goalie I've ever seen.
She's brilliant. But the fact is, and I don't know if me and other Chloe talked about it last week, but when there was issues in the defence, she was shouting at them, going, when Russo comes up here, you get on it. Like, she was proper, like, if she could see it, which a good goalkeeper should be doing. But yeah, she's the loudest I've ever heard. And it's phenomenal. Like, you just want her to be your little, like, person on your shoulder, like, telling you what to do in life and telling you, like, a motivational little angel or something. Just keep you going and keep... If you've got a deadline, get Courtney shouting at you. That's what everyone needs, I think. Hello.
I mean, I'm genuinely jealous of the Everton defenders because it's a different sport, but I play ice hockey defensively, and I play in defence. And one of the main issues I sometimes have with our goalies is that they won't talk to me and go, "I can't see, get out the way," or "I've got him, go and have that guy," or whatever. If Courtney Brosnan was my goalie, I wouldn't need to do anything. I'd just be like, "Okay, Courtney, I'll do what you told me."
Yeah, let us know when you need us. Yeah. Matthew's put a good thing in the chat. Good evening to you, Matthew. Courtney Brosnan's most underrated goalie in the WSL. Thoughts? Yeah, she doesn't get enough credit, I don't think. Absolutely. Because she's phenomenal. And I can't think of her clean sheet stats off the top of my head, but the saves that she does do very well. There's some like game-changing saves. Like she's phenomenal. So yeah, we definitely do need to talk about her more, Matthew. Absolutely. But yeah, she's brilliant. I would just like to add to that. Justine van Havermaet, it's her first goal in the WSL. So what a way to do it, right before the end of the season. But yeah, for that, it was a defensive mix-up though, and I was actually going to say to you, Paul, it was a rare Courtney Brosnan little error, wasn't it, that led to that first goal? Yeah,
it's almost as if the defenders kind of looked and went, "Oh, Courtney's there, she'll sort it," and Courtney kind of went,
"Yeah, Courtney's got us. Yeah, fine.
Courtney's got us," and Courtney basically kind of reacted and went, "I am a goalkeeper, but it's reasonable that I should expect my defenders to actually try and defend." And it was just, I'm just glad I wasn't the defender who Courtney Brosnan blamed for that, whoever it was. I don't know who she'd have blamed for that mix-up, but you get the feeling that back in the changing room, they're getting changed afterwards, and Courtney's just sitting there staring across the room. And all the defenders are kind of going like this.
Because she let out a massive shout, didn't she, when it went in?
I'm going to go so far to say, regarding Matthew's comment, by the way, that if Courtney Brosnan and Mary Earp swap places, the amount of coverage about them would also swap places, because I think Courtney Brosnan suffers from not playing from one of the big clubs in the same way that perhaps Sophie Bagley does at Brighton,
and Leipzig as well.
And she just goes below the radar. And Leipzig not so much. I think Leipzig last year.
She's got a moment.
If you listen, but if you listen to certain media outlets, Janina Leipzig is the only reason Leicester are in the WSL still, even though she's not really played that much this season. But the way they were talking about her last season, almost went over the top. But Courtney Brosnan just doesn't get any coverage whatsoever.
No.
And I was actually pleased as well. Finally, someone in the media this week actually praised Brian Sorensen, and it was Emma Sanders from the BBC.
Go on, Emma.
And he deserves so much credit. He's, I know Everton Chloe and Rebecca sing his praises and just love his style and love the way he deals with things, but just for what he's done with that Everton team, with lists of injuries and
no money,
the way he handles himself in press conferences.
Yeah. He seems like a genuinely nice guy, and that's exactly what we need, isn't it?
He is. He's an example to some higher profile WSL managers, perhaps. We will mention that later on.
Oh, yes, more on that later. Stay tuned. We haven't forgot. Don't worry. But yeah, so from those stats, Paul, to look at it, like we said, it wasn't going to be a 2-2. And first half, thought Everton were going to do it. Second half, genuinely thought Spurs could have banged in a few more from that. So does that give Spurs something to kind of fight back for next weekend, do you think? FA Cup?
I think if Spurs do that against Man United, then they're going to get a few. Genuinely. I was going to say, Chloe's just disappeared. What have I said? Was it something I said?
She's got to get more tissues for later, that's why. Yeah, she just put in the chat, anyone else having an error or just me? I was like, yeah, you've gone. Oh, wait, hang on. Chloe, yeah, you're back. Are you good?
For some reason, you all disappeared and it just crashed.
Oh, now we're here. No.
Yeah.
But you're back, and that's all that matters. Yeah, sorry, Paul. So you think they're going to get a few in on in the FA Cup, which we will talk about as well. But
I think if they play like that against a Manchester United defence, Manchester United fans should be worried. Genuinely, I think they need to be a bit less wasteful. But I think Robert Villahammer will be looking at that and taking the positive of we got 26 shots. Chloe switching wings. There you go.
Chloe switch wings, tactical switch early on. Yeah, we thought the feng shui of the team needed a bit of a jig. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's now Chelsea on the bottom now. Ah, right.
We thought she could torment the fullbacks on the other side.
Oh dear me. Right, so that was Everton 2, Spurs 2. Perfect. So now we're going to head over to Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. Chloe, we're coming to you on this one. Now, I will say a massive shout out to the Aston Villa travelling fans who you could hear all the way through. Annoyingly, I couldn't go last minute. However, they all dressed up. I don't know if anyone else saw all the fancy dress on the final day, but they were phenomenal. So massive shout out to everyone who joined in with that one. But yeah, we're going to start making it a thing in women's football as well, not just the men's. Fancy dress, last away game of the season. It'd be brilliant. So it was just one goal in this one, Chloe. So talk us through it.
Yeah, firstly, the costume. Some of the costumes that are in the crowd, just brilliant.
They were brilliant. Yeah.
Watching the game, but also trying to see, what they're wearing, which is great. Yeah, that was quite good. Definitely needs to be more of a thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's quite a closely matched sort of game. Yeah, it was one of those games where just you had to take a chance, and both teams seemed to be just scuppering multiple chances and just going past the post. And it was one of those sorts of games, and chances sort of came from defensive errors or giving the ball away, and it was just one of those games. But I did quite appreciate the bit of a commentator issue with having to talk about Darley passing to Daly, which is
The
interesting.
Darley Daly link up, yeah.
Darley Daly. Yeah.
It is quite funny when they say the wrong one, and then it's like Daly, Darley. Oh, sorry, yeah, number 10. Yep.
Yeah, there was a good link up there between those two. But yeah, it was ultimately Aston Villa that got the win, got the goal through Alyssa Lehman, which is
Alicia.
I mean, yeah, Alicia. See, this is why I'm not a commentator. Yeah, what a good build-up to the goal. The cross from Noel Moritz from literally just within the half. Like, what a ball! What a the vision to see that.
Really good, wasn't it? Yeah,
incredible. And then also you got Rachel Daly. You think, oh, she's going to score, but no, she got fouled in the box, and luckily, Lehman was there just to put it in and get Aston Villa a goal. But yeah, it was just one of those games where you just have to take your chance, and Aston Villa did, and ultimately got the win.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lehman with 2 in 2. You could argue she hasn't really shown up for the rest of the season. However, she shows up when it matters. So we'll take it. We'll take that one there. Putting Villa ahead twice in 2 weeks. And it earned a first start in a while as well, that goal last week. Yeah, I thought watching it, Villa they felt more dominant. And like you said, it felt like both teams had their chances, but it just felt like Brighton, I don't know, there was just something missing. And Villa, part of it, I think that was the best they've played all season. Like you said about Daly and Darley. Sounds like a dilly-dally, doesn't it, when you say quite quickly? But yeah, their link-up that was so crucial last season has been really hit and miss this season, and you've seen glimmers of it and you've seen glimpses and you think, oh, where's it gone? And then suddenly against Brighton, it was there and it was back, and you were thinking, okay, where was this Villa a couple of months ago? Because it was, panic stations before Christmas. It was, okay, is this going to be how the season's going to go? But yeah, it was, for what it was worth, especially with Carla Ward, of course, announcing her shocking start this week as well, a massive 3 points away to take back to Villa Park against City on the final day. So all of the final day stuff we will talk about in a moment. But yeah, I thought it was a massive 3 points. But Matthews just said, who would I like to be the new Villa manager after Carla Ward? Now, that brings it into question, doesn't it? Because she has been a phenomenal manager for the last couple of seasons. I mean, she's brought Villa to finish, their highest finish. She's just completely re-energized the team, completely changed it around, and it's been an absolute pleasure, to be honest. And seeing her go is going to be, a lot of us really heartbroken, as I know you both are about Emma Hayes as well, because of what they've done for the club and just how it feels to support a team when the manager cares, and you can see her enthusiasm, her passion, her everything. And the fact that in what was announced, they said, they've tried to get her to stay and they've done everything they can. But for everyone who's not aware, so Carla Ward did make the shock announcement last week that she's going to step down at the end of the season, even though she's still got a year on her contract, because she feels it's the right time to be spending more time with her family. And fair play, can't blame her. It's such a hard job that we all know. Again, Emma Hayes has talked a lot about it, hasn't she? Missing out on a lot of family time. And especially with Carla's little girl kind of getting to the age where she's very aware of it. I know Carla's spoken about that in other podcasts. And she said, I've always given the role 100% dedication, but now it's the right time to prioritize the other important things. And yeah, absolutely, she's right. So no one can deny her that at all. But she's such a fantastic manager. And even, the director of football at the club said, Carla is one of the best managers in women's football, and we're really sad to see her go. Wish her all the best for the future. And she's done so much. And it would be, well, we got the 3 points, was a fantastic win. And you just hope they can get something at Villa Park against City. Not necessarily a win. We know that's, a bit of a big shot, but something would be quite nice to kind of celebrate and kind of send her off in style with that one. But Emma's just said in the chat there, she's got huge shoes to fill, hoping that she doesn't take any players with her. So that's going to be the next thing that we can all kind of jump in on. A lot of players in particular that Carla signed. So she has signed every player in her squad. Okay. And a lot of them in their interviews have said, we've come because of the manager. We've come because of the ethos. We've come because of Villa and what it's been like. So unfortunately, could that be that a few players might go, well, we came for Carla. Do we now look at other options because she's now gone? Or do we stay because of what's been built and we're happy here, it's now home and we honour it? But yeah, has anyone got any thoughts what might happen to Villa post Carla?
It could be a similar situation to what's going on at Chelsea, that the manager leaves and some players are like, okay, it's going to be a sort of fresh start around here, so why not leave and make a fresh start, ourselves. It'll happen. I think there'll be a few players leaving. Don't know who, but guess we'll see. But yeah, there'll be a fair few players moving.
Yeah, because a lot of people were obviously saying, Rachel Daly, will she go? Adriana Leon, when she came in a video at Ebony Salmon, they all kind of said, we came for the manager. We want the support. We want, everything that's in place here. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see if there is a little bit of an exodus, or if they really come together and say, okay, well, this is a team. We are a family now, because they seem like that they really get on and they really enjoy spending time with each other out off the field as well, which is brilliant to see. So fingers crossed that they keep that unity, and whoever does come in next. So a long way around to answer your question, Matthew, I do apologise. But we need someone who's got that ethos, and we just need someone who's as passionate. So it could be a shout, but Mel Phillips, I don't know if she's got a new role yet. I don't think she has. But someone like her, because regardless of, Brighton kind of sacking her out of the blue, she did seem like that kind of manager. So possibly someone like her, but it's that limited female coaching of that standard, which we need to invest more in. Clearly, that's the point. But yeah, it's going to be hard seeing who's going to replace her. Anyone else got any thoughts? Any managers floating about? Don't say Mark Skinner. Not happening.
I mean, the market's kind of small at the moment, isn't it? We've seen with Chelsea.
That would be very Villa, wouldn't it?
What? Mark Skinner? Paul? Hello. Paul, have we got a massive delay?
Sorry. There is a slight delay, yes.
Okay, right, that's fine.
Think of it. It's somehow got even longer. It's think of it as Mark Skinner's thinking time. It's.
I've got to be here all
there you
night.
go. I'm counting it. There you go.
Where's the popcorn?
Yeah, just get the popcorn now.
It's at least. I'm tempted to log out and back in just to catch up.
Go for it. Yeah.
Don't worry.
It's fine. Don't worry. Sophie's put a really good question. Villa's squad is so small already. Losing players is going to be so bad for them. I'm sure Daly and Darley came for Carla as well. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, signing Rachel Daly from Houston Dash was a massive one, wasn't it? The Euros. So a lot of high-profile players that maybe some people went, oh, they're too big for Villa. They started signing those players because of that caliber, because of the relationship, because of, people were saying, oh, actually, it's all right up here. It's not too bad in Birmingham, coming up the motorway. It's not too bad at all. And yeah, so just, again, Carla, if you're watching, just thank you for everything that you've done. You've got a lot of very heartbroken fans in the best kind of way, because it shows kind of what legacy that you have left. And we're going to give her a massive send-off at Villa Park next week, which I can't wait to tell you all about. So that was some really sad news coming out of Villa this week. And just go back through the chat. Very, very active this evening. Good evening to James here from across the pond. Come on, the Toffees. Absolutely. We've also got, who else have I missed out? Yeah. Sam said Paul's been waiting for this. Yes, he absolutely has. Chloe, I know you put your message up earlier, but our other lovely Chloe is with us this evening as well. Callum's missing her already. She's in the chat, Callum. She's in the chat. Don't too far away at all. And our lovely Holty from the fan club. We need to be positive. Yes, we absolutely do. Fan base is growing and the team have a family vibe. Let's give the new boss our support. Big thanks to Carla for all she's done to get us where we are. Yes, absolutely. She's been phenomenal. Simon, boy, it's not too bad in Birmingham, said no one ever. I lived there for 8 years maybe. It's all right. I'm still here. I survived to tell the tale. It's not too bad. Some places. So, moving on, shall we, away from the West Midlands? We are going to go to... In fact, should we come to Paul last? Because I think... Rosie, we haven't heard from you yet. Let's go... West Ham, Leicester. So West Ham 1, Leicester 1. Rosie, there wasn't much in this, to be fair, was there? West Ham had the majority of the chances, but Leicester kind of kept them out, didn't they, for the majority of the match?
Yeah, it was quite balanced. I mean, it was obviously a draw, but West Ham had the most chances, Leicester had the most possession. So it was kind of like Leicester had possession, but they weren't really doing much with it. But then West Ham had the chances, but obviously weren't converting them a lot. So it's kind of, there's not really much to say. I mean, Rico Aki's goal was amazing in 13 minutes. You kind of think after that goal goes in, settles it a little bit. Like they've got an early one, they can kind of relax a tiny bit. But then, I mean, Leicester scored at 36 minutes, so not really. But yeah, it was very balanced.
Yeah, and like Emma says, Leicester have really stepped up this season. They have. And Leicester are another team that are so underappreciated and do not get near enough credit as they should for how they've been playing this season. And Sophie Howard got their goal, defender. But yeah, first get from a set piece. Great. And it just shows they've got those attacking threats from all of the pitch, haven't they, Leicester? So yeah, they're really strong and people need to be more wary of them, I think. I think for a lot of people think, Leicester, we can beat them, but they're really strong, they're really good with that one. So yeah, not much to report. West Ham 1, Leicester 1. Now, shall we go to... Chloe, we'll come back to you. Man City 1, Arsenal 2. Now, when Man City scored, I was like, oh, they're going to take the 3 points and this is going to make it very, very interesting indeed. And then Stina Blackstenius did Stina Blackstenius things late on, as per, and changed it all around. So talk us through it, Chloe. What was the excitement of Man City 1, Arsenal 2 for you?
Yeah, blimey, what a game. Yeah. Well, to be honest, if you go back to November, this result is the exact same result that happened in this fixture with Arsenal winning 2-1. So, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, did you?
Despite the form of City, you could have, maybe looked at it and think, oh, they might do it again. And they did do it again. But yeah, it was one of those cliche games of the game of two halves where Man City, knew this could be it, that we could win the title today. And yeah, quite they went for it. They really did. And yeah, there was some quite some sort of good play, and it was ultimately Lauren Hemp that got the goal that put them on the road to possibly getting the title. was possible at that point. Obviously, Hemp playing it Fowler to Wahabi. So this is why WSL names is following me, so I can learn.
Leila Wabi. Yep, good.
Wahabi. Yep. And then obviously Hemp just played it nice into corner out of reach of the goalkeeper. And obviously, City fans are thinking, this could be it. This could be a first title since 2016.
Yeah.
But Arsenal had over ideas, and they ultimately dominated the second half. And I don't know whether it was pressure and the pressure, knowing that the titles were going to reach. You know, it's been so many years, 8 years since they won the title. That was creeping into their mind. But I think ultimately it was not being able to take the chances that, you know, with these things you can't not, you know, just score one against Arsenal. You've got to score many more to.
So they're definitely missing Bunny Shaw, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. that came at possibly the worst time. It's one of those.
When they need goals for that goal difference. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And Blackstenius in added time, sort of at the end of the game. Like first I thought, okay, they're gonna get a draw. You know, that might still be good for them. But no, she got a second goal. Both goals where she just got a little bit on it, just a little touch, just to take it in. I mean, the second one was a header, which was they just left her unmarked. I don't know why they did that. It's like, come on, she just scored, mark her again. And, they just left her unmarked, and she got the win for Arsenal and just completely turned the title race on its head.
Completely put a spanner in the works. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the best thing is that it will come down to the final day, and that's the best kind of drama. With everyone playing at the same time, what's going on. But no one's going to have any signal in any of the stadiums, so we won't have a clue what's going on. Just out there for the final day. But yeah, Chloe's
radios.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take an old-fashioned radio or a walkie-talkie, just with someone on the outside, just like, right, what's the score? What's going on? Chloe's put, it was one of the best games I've been to. The atmosphere was electric. Yeah, you could feel it. You could definitely feel it through the telly. Had a couple of friends who were there, and they said it was absolutely mad, the atmosphere. And Emma's rightly said, City's downfall being they've no consistent player to be the number 9 other than Bunny. Yeah, absolutely. Because we know Lauren Hemp can deliver. Chloe Kelly can also deliver. So can Jess Park and all these other things. But they need to be in the right setup. They need to get the service, don't they? And if that's not there, then Bunny, who's usually their outlet, it's kind of, there's no one there. Absolutely. Although, Lauren Hemp, thank you for scoring because you saved my fantasy team that week. Because I also Linda, so that was my saviour for the weekend in that one. And I did want to talk about Steph Houghton, legend. We spoke about her a lot when it was announced she was retiring this year. The BBC coverage of her send-off at home was atrocious. Would anyone else like to jump in on this before I get up on my soapbox?
Well, it was quite interesting to see the difference between the BBC coverage and the Sky Sports coverage.
Yeah.
It's kind of awkward considering I work freelance for BBC. It's like, But yeah, Sky Sports just full on went, you know, with our departures, they did quite a bit. But yeah, I don't know why there wasn't that much coverage about it, but editorial.
It was more the fact, so Chloe's put there, almost crying in the stadium during her send-off. Now, we saw a bit of her guard of honour. We heard the echo in the background as Alex Scott and Farrah Williams were still talking. They then took Gareth Taylor over for an interview during the send-off, when surely he should be there with the team, with Steph. And then I'm sure Alex Scott even said, we're going to go see that in a moment. I'm sure she said it because I was like, all right, I'll tune in. You know, I'll keep watching. I'll keep waiting. Nothing. You just heard the echo of Steph saying her speech and then some videos and things like that. I had to watch it on TikTok. because I couldn't find it, and like it wasn't broadcast anywhere. And you just think you're the BBC, you've got the cameras, you've got the presenters, you've got everything there. This is one of the massive legends of the game at home saying her farewell and her thank yous. Can't you give her the respect and the time of day to just 5-10 minutes? That, 15 at max, just something. So Chloe said it was a full 8 minutes, right? So 8 minutes out of BBC scheduling. Not, it's no, it definitely could have been done. Gareth should have been celebrating. Yes, he absolutely should have. They literally just said a guard of honor and then they just spoke over her. Yeah. And I thought it was really disrespectful, to be honest. So if anything like that happens again, BBC, because I know you're watching, please don't do that and give the fans what they want, because those of us who couldn't get to the City Ground, we missed out on sharing in that moment. So yeah, really, really disappointed. But we will talk about the Emma Hayes send-off, of course, when we get to the Chelsea game as well. And yeah, absolutely right. If you were a City fan at home, how could you then pay your respects when you can't see it? You can't interact with it. But yeah, if anyone was interested in that, City did then release some videos and some things of it. So thank you, Sophie, for that. If you did want to go catch up, like I did, because I don't like missing out, especially when you just hear an echo of something, and it's like, no, I want to watch that. I don't want to watch you having an interview. That can come later. That's fine with that one. Okay. So that was Man City 1, Arsenal 2, putting a massive spanner in the works for the last day of the season. Now, we've got 2 games left, entertaining for different reasons. I think because we've got to talk about Emma Hayes and everything that's going on at Chelsea. Paul, we're coming back to you for Liverpool 1, Man United 0. So for those who don't follow Paul on social media, you need to. But we've all been looking forward to this moment. So everyone grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, sit back, relax. And Liverpool scored their last win at Prenton Park as well, because they're moving, aren't they, next season? And Oh, the one question I did want to lead in with, Paul. Should United have been prepared for how deadly they are with set pieces, considering what happened against Chelsea?
Criminal that they weren't, and it was one of the many.
Oh, Paul, I can't hear you, mate. Can anyone else hear him?
Barely hear him.
Try again.
I know what I've done. See, I'm all ready, and then
I can barely hear you.
No, can't hear you, mate. No, this is meant to be the good bit. In fact, while you're sorting it out, I'm going to tweet saying to everyone to join in that Paul's now on his rant.
I think, Paul, if you take your earphones out...
Yeah, you might have to disconnect your headphones and just kind of talk through your...
Yeah.
Oh, now you're muted. Come back.
Oh, pants. Hold on.
Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go.
Can you hear me again? We're back.
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah.
Let's switch to internal mic. Okay. See, we've got to make people wait for it.
I bet be good now, mind, after this.
Yeah. Well, yes, they should absolutely have been prepared for set pieces, because it was a feature. It was known that Liverpool are good from set pieces. They'd had all the warnings and they didn't manage it. And you can just add it to another reason. So I've done a bit of research for this one, you see, for the opening line. It's like a Saturday Night Live monologue.
Love it.
So I'm going to start by saying the English alphabet has 26 letters, okay? The possible combinations of those 26 letters without repetition, 67,108,863 possible words. None of them come close to describing how bad Mark Skinner is at managing Man United?
Oh, I love that lead up. Thank you for that.
Like,
It's a joke, but
like he manages with the confidence but incompetence of a bold man buying a hairbrush. It's just like he kind of turns up and he stands there on the side of the pitch and he shouts a lot and nobody seems to listen to him. Like it's just the way he kind of sets the team up. It's obvious with things like you say, the set pieces. He just didn't set the team up. But he fascinates me because you can give him an option of 2 wrong decisions and he'd take both of them to be safe. Like, genuinely, he's just baffling. And it's reached the point where he's now spent the most Manchester United have ever spent in an off-season to have their worst possible WSL season.
Yeah.
And he's still going to have a job. There is a good chance that he's still going to have a job. And like, he's what happens if mediocrity was a protected characteristic. He's just like, I should probably talk about the game at some point. I'm just firing off all these lines here, you know.
But it comes into it, doesn't it? Because you're absolutely right. They've got their lowest ever WSL finish. They've spent the most money. They've got a cracking caliber of player on the bench. He doesn't use his subs correctly. He doesn't rotate. And you're like, you've got no one to blame but yourself.
He looks like the thing that fascinates me. There was one bit where there was a break in play, and we've talked about this a few weeks. There's a break in play, and you kind of get all the managers, all the players, even congregate on the opposite side of the pitch, all getting together. And Mark Skinner's just stood there. He looks as out of place as a nun at an orgy. He's just kind of stood there looking, going, I'm not really sure what's going on here.
Oh, Paul.
Like stats wise, Liverpool outplayed Man United in every possible way. They had more shots on target, lower possession. To be fair, Manchester United had more possession, but as well, I believe that's possibly, maybe not the first time, but it's certainly one of the few times that Liverpool have ever beaten Man United in the WSL. Certainly in the past few years. And you cannot manage at Manchester United without being aware of the fact that Liverpool is a game that Manchester United want to win at every single opportunity. And they turned up, and looking at his lineup is baffling. He doesn't seem to know what his front three is. Like, sometimes he'll stick Nikita Paris there. He played Lucia Garcia, who is probably leaving.
Another rumour.
He's finally worked out. That's the rumour. He's finally worked out Lisa Nolsson exists, which, you know, good on him. It only took you 6 months, mate. And he's got players that have checked out on him. The fans hate him. The owners don't really care. You know, at this point, even some journalists are starting to question his competence. But apart from that, he's doing a great job.
Yeah, take everything else out of it. Doing great. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been working myself up here. The bit that annoys me the most, genuinely, is his press conference afterwards summed up the level of incompetence that this man has reached.
Right. So if anyone who didn't read the report, because funny enough, there wasn't that much footage from post-match from anyone. Paul hit us with some of the best quotes because they were pretty phenomenal, to be honest.
my favourite one is just the quote where he said something along the lines of, "I've got to double check it actually, if I can."
Oh, we
I know
need the
where
right
I've put
word.
it, you know, we need the right wording.
We do.
So
I've got it up
we
as
go
well if you need it. Yeah.
back through. I keep hunting. Right. He said, "Okay." He was. I think he was asked question-wise. It was something along the lines of, "What do you think of the game? What do you think of a game where you're being really pushed and you're under pressure, against a local derby?" His quote verbatim was, I think it's a good thing. I think it was a good game. Barring the result, obviously, that's a negative." Yeah.
He's
That's
just.
that's like that's like asking Abraham Lincoln's wife, apart from the obvious, how was the play, love? Like just
What an analogy!
he could
Thank you for that.
sit there. It's the type of person who's like, asking Jackie Kennedy after that famous day in Dallas. Well, apart from the obvious, we had a lovely drive through Dallas. It's like, honestly.
I love how you're just going through assassinations in time.
For a character assassination. Yeah, like.
Hey, well done. Well done.
There you go. But I don't know what more I can say about him, except if Manchester United keep him next season, you'd seriously have to consider whether Ineos are just trying to run the team into the ground so they can make a few quid out of financial fair play. Because there is no reason to keep him at the club. There is none.
No.
To any rational, sane mind. Which probably means he's going to get a 3-year contract, to be honest.
Oh, at least. Yeah. Yeah, probably. It was just... So again, going back to his post-match, because again, I've got it up. So yeah, it was sometimes it's a good thing, but obviously it's a negative. And also he said, we'll take the hit and refocus. You've got 2 games left. Well, 1 now. No, 2, with including the FA Cup final. We'll take the hit and refocus, right? Okay. He then went on to... I think it can be really good for us going into the final to really get our energy right. We obviously wanted to win. We haven't. Yeah. We had chances and there were key chances. That's where we'll learn and put it into practice. And we'll punish those in the final next week. I don't think we're the player and they're going to be punishing anyone, to be honest. Because... it's not. It's something needs to change, and it's not the players. It's him. Because I don't know.
I'm going to quote Jay-Z now. Like, genuinely, this is how down with the kids I am.
But he does play for United, so it's okay. You can.
He does. Yeah. Oh, actually, see, I didn't even think of that one. But yeah, Jay-Z, who also plays right wing for Manchester United, when Mark Skinner remembers to pick her, which isn't very often. She's only a Brazilian international, Mark. She's only one of your biggest signings of the summer.
Champions League winner, yeah.
From I can't remember which Jay-Z song it was from. Actually, that's really bad. But it might have been 99 Problems. But he describes someone in it as, the type, loud as a motorbike, can beat a grape in a fruit fight. And that is Mark Skinner. He's just mouth. Like, it's... He produces enough hot air to power a small country. It's, it's...
Because he talks a lot, but doesn't say anything, does he? It's very empty waffle.
It's word vomit. You might as well get AI to produce his post-match interviews, and you probably get more sense out of it.
Probably.
Then
Like that Willy Wonka experience that just went horrendously wrong. Like that made more sense, to be honest. I think that would. Let's try it.
Like
Let's try it.
science has discovered that there are worms down at the bottom of the deepest trenches, you know, with no mouth, no ears, and no eyes. They would do a better post-match press conference and probably manage Manchester United better than Mark Skinner does at this point.
Your next manager, a flatworm, ladies and gentlemen.
And deal with the pressure better as well.
Hey, well done. You're on one tonight.
But
I love it.
I see Matthew as well. He says Spurs win 1-0 and Martha Thomas scores the winning goal. Do you know what? I am now at the point where I hope that happens and Martha Thomas celebrates in front of the Man United bench. I'm full team chaos.
And hugging Grace Clinton on the way.
That's what it is. Yeah, well, just going past on the way, guy going, don't go back. You know.
Yeah.
Grace just going, I'm not coming back. Stay here.
I don't think she will.
I don't know why she would, to be fair. I don't think she'd get a game.
I think she needs to stay.
Yeah, she's doing so well. Like, no, I really hope she stays. I really hope everyone convinces her to stay in London because she wouldn't get the time, would she? Going back to United. Because she didn't anyway.
Mark Skinner develops players like broken cameras develop photos. See, I'm just struggling with the metaphors now, but I've still got to get them in. And I've got about 10 more, but most of them are too offensive, probably.
Yeah, we'll do an X-rated version for later. We'll have a pin to unlock it.
AFWSL after dark.
That's it. Remember, I found out that I can mute you, so it's okay if you do go too far. While we're on quotes though, he also said it was a bit of an anti-football game.
Well, he's anti-football. He is to football what he is to football what bombs are to interior decorating. It's just, it shouldn't happen in any way, shape, or form. And that was an editing. I had a worse one than that. That was me editing on air. I'm proud of you that you're self-editing. Now, so we should probably wind this up.
I was going to say, I don't think they use bombs on Interior Design Masters. I don't think they're there yet. But yeah, it's ultimately he needs to leave. And I know Matthew put somewhere in the chat, Carla Ward would be a great replacement if she wasn't leaving football. I think she's the caliber of manager, but I'd hate to see her there, and I don't think she'd go there because it feels broken, United at the minute, and it needs a massive overhaul for it to become a happy, healthy place. Obviously, from the outside, we don't know any inside knowledge. Just a disclaimer there. But yeah, from what we can see as fans, it doesn't look good. So yeah, I would not wish that on anyone. But fair play to anyone who takes the job after Mark for that one.
Even the categories.
I was going to say the cat's really getting into it.
I was going to say, come on then. This is Nancy. I'll see if I can get it. No, she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to appear on camera. She just wants to come and yell.
It's like, no, I'm audio only. No videos, please.
And you still make more sense than a Mark Skinner press conference, don't you?
In fact, that was a lineup for this weekend. That's what that was.
she's I think the cat's a Villa fan.
Yeah.
Remember when she started meowing, I could just see Chloe's face. I checked behind
Where's it coming from?
I was just sat there like, I'm just going to pretend it's not there.
I was going to say we should have all just pretended that we couldn't hear it and just see Chloe just like, why? What's happening?
Just hope somebody's taken a screenshot of that.
Oh no, it's
There you go. I can hear Ricky. Right, shall I mute my mic and ease her out, and you guys move on to Chelsea, because I could run all night.
Yeah,
but,
go on then. Yeah.
I think we should let people talk about the other games.
No, I think the only thing we were going to talk about with United is the rumour that they are the front runners to sign Denise O'Sullivan in the summer. Now, the only thing with that, we can rate her. We know Denise O'Sullivan's a brilliant player. They've got enough midfielders on the bench.
Yeah.
She wouldn't get any. They don't need another midfielder. What they need is rotation of the ones they've already got. So, Denise O'Sullivan, would we like to see it in the WSL? Who do we think needs a midfielder? Where do we think she would slot in if she did indeed sign? And that's for anyone. Anyone who wants to jump in. Who needs a good midfielder? And where would she slot in?
I think we'd gladly take her at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Um,
But I'd say to her, run as fast as you can, don't go to United.
Yeah, please do not go to United with that one. Yeah, I could see her at Chelsea, to be fair.
I mean, we do know, don't we? We're Leicester.
Well, if more announcements keep happening, they'd be down half a team. Emma disagrees. Villa, we just need people that don't get injured. Would be nice. So I'll just have a look at Denise's medical records before we present anything. Everton need one. We need all of the players. Yeah. Yeah, anywhere, to be fair. As long as she's in the WSL somewhere, I'm quite happy. Paul, where do you think Denise, if she did sign, where do you think she would be best suited, do you think?
Well, Matthew makes the point, if Man United signed Denise O'Sullivan, Grace Clinton's getting no games at all, which I think is a good one. I think Everton, personally. Everton or Aston Villa. Or Liverpool, actually, but I don't know how they'd fit her in, because then Liverpool would have an embarrassment of riches in midfield with Herbinger, Missy Bocairns, Fuka Nagano, and several others. So I think it makes most sense, like you say, to Villa or Everton. Are the two that
a team where she can really upholster that midfield and keep going. Yeah, I could say it. Well, watch this space, everyone, because we will be here with all the transfer rumours as we get them in. Now, coming to probably the most emotional moment of the week for two of our panel, Chelsea. Well, we were live last week, weren't we, when we thought Emma Hayes had just completely given up totally, which was a massive shock to everyone because that was not Emma Hayes at all. And we all kind of went, who is this person giving up? Like, what is happening? But then it turns out that was all mind games, wasn't it? So fair play to her. Rosie, you're covering this one. Now, Chelsea going into it, obviously they would have had points and kind of goal difference on their mind. And obviously Bristol, brilliant opportunity. No offense to Bristol, but we know Chelsea can score. So, but did you think it was going to be a 8-0 screamer?
Do you know what? I kind of had the hope. Like every goal that went again. I think after it got to 4, it was we want 5. Yeah. So it was like the crowd were with them. And it's always, obviously that's what you want the crowd support, but it was like even the fans were saying this isn't good enough. We need 6, we need 7, we need 8. Like, and after we didn't get 9, but I'll settle with 8. But like
should have had 10. But
the mentality like within the club that they just needed those goals was shared with the fans as well. Yeah. And I think you could see that in the stadium with the support that was being given. Like after the first goal, you knew they meant business. Like the way Gura Wrighton just like ran, absolute sprint, scored the penalty, right, done. Niamh Charles trying to like wrestle the ball after the second goal. It was business. you knew, because normally against Bristol, yeah, they're going to score quite a few goals, but the intensity and the pace in which they restarted was mad. I've never seen anything like that when you're like 4-0 up. Like,
Yeah, yeah, because some teams would be like, "Oh yeah, we're 4-0 up now. Yeah, if we score, we score." You know, but yeah, you were right, and just a massive shout for Guro Reiten, because we know she's incredible, but again, someone who doesn't necessarily get all the credit she deserves. But her celebrations after every goal she scores are always phenomenal, aren't they? And again, that showed how much it meant, didn't it?
Yeah, I think Guro, I mean, most Chelsea fans will probably say she hasn't been on her best form this season. Like, I was hearing shouts that we should sell her. Absolutely no way.
Ooh.
I know. So she had an injury and she just didn't really fully come back from that. But she showed, like, on Sunday, obviously, that she's back. And she just really wanted to, like, help the team out in that way. And I mean, that was insane. Like, 4 goals is mad, but especially 4 goals in one match from a player that's not really been at her best was just so good to see.
But she just took every opportunity, didn't she? And there are so many times and so many games, Villa in particular, you just wish they'd take that chance, they'd have a goal, they'd have that confidence, they'd make that run and just go for it. And I think if anyone's looking to kind of what kind of footballer do I need to be, it's just watch Guro, because everything she does when she's on our game is just precision, isn't it? And it's such a joy to watch. And yeah, you could definitely feel it. And Matthew there saying, yeah, I was at King's Meadow and got emotional. And yeah, it kind of, so the 8-0, so knowing it was then one more than you needed for City in the goal difference, and see Chloe nodding there. So having that moment was already probably emotional enough that the title race is back on. You're definitely in it, back in the race. And then it came to the farewell presentations, didn't it? Now, during the week as well, we have mentioned it, but we'll just say again. So both Fran Kirby and Maren Mjelde both announced they would be leaving Chelsea at the end of the season. Now, 2 massive legends. Chloe, why don't you tell us a bit about Fran and Maren and kind of what they mean to Chelsea? What kind of legacy have they left?
Yeah. Like, they're going to be huge losses to the team. Like, I mean, it's already emotional when Maren went to his departure and then Fran went into. To be honest, people were like, "Oh, is the Fran gonna announce the departure?" And I was like, "No, please don't leave." But I was like, "It's gonna happen." Then it happened, and I was like, "Oh no." Completely broken.
Because it was announced quite shortly after one another, wasn't it?
Yeah, they both had some quite special moments, for the team, and just been solid players and key players for us. Like Maren will probably always remember a Champions League goal.
Yeah, because didn't she sign off her goodbye message with, "You ever need someone to score a penalty in the 120th minute, give me a shout." Yeah. It's just goes down in history, doesn't it? Kind of what they've given to the team.
Yeah, it really does. Especially Fran. I mean, I'm just biased.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Chloe loves Fran and has done for many
years. Yeah. She's a all-time top scorer. Yep, Simon had me to. Yes, it's all-time top scorer for Chelsea. Now, if I make it the stats here, 115 goals in 205 appearances, which, considering her injury record and everything she's gone through, is just absolutely insane. That's like a goal every other game, which is madness. And I think the WSL record is like a goal goal contribution every 76 minutes.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. Kirby shirt.
I'm wearing a Kirby shirt, and I've got a Kirby shirt here. This is why I have us on here. Yeah, Fran, just 15 trophies in the time here, which is again is insane. 6 WSL, 5 FA Cups, 2 Conti Cups, 1 Community Shield and 1 Spring Series.
Spring
So, yes, I did a bit of research. Yeah, she's had some special moments for the club as well. I mean, one that will stand the test of time is scoring the first Champions League goal for the club against Glasgow City at Wheatsheaf Park in Staines. That's one of those records that is going to stand because it's the first ever goal. And also at the same ground, the semi-final in 2016 of the FA Cup against Man City, scoring in the 120th minute. So the noise that goes up around Wheatsheaf Park is insane, and then you see Emma wildly celebrating, almost punching one of the coaches. Believe me, go and search for it. It is hilarious. But yeah, she's one of those players that I think that even now some people still don't rate as high as they should. But she's what she can do, her vision and just everything else, and sort of the resilience to come back from so many injuries and pericarditis, which almost caused her to retire. Like when I heard that, I thought, no, that's it, she's going to retire. But she's kept going on. And what an insane player, but also on the field. The main reason, besides her being an amazing footballer, the main reason I thought, okay, I'll follow this player throughout her sort of career is it's quite a personal note. Also, if you've researched Fran, you'll know she lost her mum when she was 14. And sadly, I lost my mum when I was 11. And for so many years, I just thought, I'm the only one that's been through this. And it was something that sort of always weighed on me. And I watched Fran at the World Cup in 2015. And for some reason, I just thought, okay, I'll just look up a story. And saw that, and I was like, wow, somebody else has been through that as well as me and had mental health issues, and it's quite open about such a horrible thing to go through. Like, losing your parent at any age is tough, but to lose it as a kid is just... That's the person that brought you into the world. So to have gone through what she's gone through with depression, quitting football, coming back into football, and then going on to achieve what she's done is just incredible. And also, having met her several times, like too many times to count, she is one of the nicest people. Like, there's so many times I've seen other fans meet her. Like one time in Durham, when we were there for the FA Cup, there was somebody, a kid there, just like, oh, I really want to meet Fran. I really want to meet Fran. And I was like, talking to, saying, oh, she's lovely. You'll be fine. And I saw, because they were in front of me, I saw the whole interaction. They were just like in bits, and Fran was just so nice. I was like, oh, yeah, that's Fran. She has time for anybody, and just such an inspiration, being so open about mental health struggles, and she's been through so much, and to do what she's done is just incredible. And fair play to wherever she goes next. I will go to the games. But yeah, just huge loss for Chelsea.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like you said, she's always been so open and honest, and a lot about her struggles, because it hasn't been an easy road. And the fact that there are fans like yourself and like the whole of Chelsea that have always been behind her and made that journey a lot easier than it would have been if she didn't have you. Rosie, how are you feeling about Fran and Maren?
I'm not happy. I kind of knew about Fran leaving before it happened. Okay. Had a bit of insider information, so I kind of had a little bit of time to process it before it was announced. It was supposed to be announced the day that Maren was, and it wasn't. So I had I mentally prepared myself for it to be announced, and it wasn't. and it was not. I was at work. I was coaching. Literally, I checked my phone to like find something, and I saw the announcement, and I was, how am I supposed to coach these kids after saying that? But like, I did have that time to prepare, and Fran, I can't speak more highly of her. Any player, any fan that's had an interaction with her just knows how lovely she is. And I think in recent years, definitely as a player, she's not been on her best form. I mean, obviously that happens when you get older. She's not even that old, but like when you've had that many injuries and that much time not playing, but like
you're not older than me.
I just said she's not old. But that's going to happen, and some people forget that. They forget how much she's done for the club. It was probably her time to leave. I think she wasn't really getting it, and she could be very much valued somewhere elsewhere, but that doesn't make it any easier.
No, and that's the thing, and part of it is being, I don't know, I'd rather be heartbroken over a player that leaves because you know they've done a good job and they've done all they can for the team, and everything that they do contribute, it's like that won't be forgotten. And like the fans who followed them all the way, every single person will have their own individual memory of why they are so special and what connects you to them. And I think it's lovely and being able to share on this platform. So thank you, Chloe, for sharing that. It was a really beautiful moment. And just having the ability to do that, and showing that it goes far beyond football for the majority of people. You can have those interpersonal connections that aren't just about kicking a ball about. They are much more valuable and emotional than that. But yeah, it's going to be very strange seeing them not in Chelsea colours. Now, there's been a couple of rumours where they will go, where they'll end up. Lots of people are like, yeah, they'll go out to the NWSL. But as everyone said, well, they've just redone the house, so probably not. Crystal Palace has been bandied about, hasn't it? Now, I mean, what a way to present yourself to the WSL, and what a way to show investment. Oh, by the way, we've got 2 ex-Chelsea superstars on the books. So yeah, what do we think about that? If anyone wants to jump in, do we think that would be a good shout? Keep them in the WSL?
Yeah, she's worn the colours before.
Wow.
One of those old. Was it away shirt or third shirt?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a good move. Staying in London, obviously, because the house and everything. And Cody. I think Cody's project manager for the renovation. Yeah, even the builders were heartbroken.
I know what it's
Yeah.
Sorry, builders put stories up for Fran and Maren saying like, "Oh, heartbroken, we love you."
Yeah. And Cody putting up obviously not Cody because he's a dog, obviously done by Auntie. Yeah, even Cody having like Maren Fran compilation.
I couldn't watch the video. I haven't watched it. It's too sad. Because also Maren, I mean, we talked so much about Fran, but Maren is a huge loss as well. Like she's not really played as much again in recent years, so which is why it's probably good that she is leaving to get more time. But she's been incredible. I mean, obviously the moment that sticks out is last year against Lyon. Just taking a penalty in like literally the last minute of extra time and then doing it again a few minutes later. Like I was watching I think it was the We Are Chelsea podcast of Jess Carter, and she was talking about that moment and trying to distract Maren. She was like, "So what are you doing at the weekend? What are you up to?" To take her mind off what she's about to do. And I think that's just so sweet, that connection that all of them have in the team, and she's going to be so missed.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had Andrew Katchenberger left as well. Oh, it's just Jess and Sophie now and that little group. It's too sad. But
yeah, one final one. Well, Next question: do we think Jess would leave, or is no?
Shut it down. Nope.
Just one more question. I've got to play devil's advocate here.
Oh, there could be a long distance relationship.
She can do long distance. I'll pay for the flights. She's staying.
Jess, you heard it here first. Rosie's got you. She's got you covered for those flights out to New York.
I'll get the money.
Yeah, because Jess got what award did she win again?
To ask actually.
She had Players Player of the season.
Players Player, yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Right, go on, Paul.
I wanted to ask because obviously it was beautiful listening to the pair of you with your kind of Chelsea fan connections, talking about Fran Kirby as well. I wanted to ask you guys because I started watching perhaps a little later than you, certainly, Chloe. I was kind of 2016, so was vaguely aware of Fran Kirby at Reading, but obviously watched her at Chelsea and stuff. And she, for me, was one of the players where I was just like, yeah, in terms of skill and ability, she's absolutely iconic. She's one of the players who, and this is how bad it was. Afterwards, I was like, she's a player who everyone will wish they saw play live. And then I remembered I did at the Euros final, and that was the only time I got to see Fran Kirby play in person, which I'll say isn't a bad one. But do you think she can be counted as one of the greatest ever English footballers already, or do you think she's still got a year or two? Because I would say she's in one of the great. She's in the talk, with Steph Horton and some of the others as the greatest ever English footballers. Certainly the greatest ever English female footballers.
Yeah, definitely. Not just for Chelsea, but for England as well. She was. I mean, people don't talk about it. She was a key part of the Euro, triumph. Like without her, I don't think it would have gone as well as it could. Yeah, she's going to be up there as one of the greats. Even I remember years ago reading a newspaper article where Kelly Smith was bigging her up. I'm like, if Kelly Smith is talking you up, you're pretty damn good.
Something special, yeah. And I really like what Sophie's just put as well. For me, Fran Kirby to Chelsea, what Jordan Nobbs was for Arsenal and Steph Horton was for City. Yeah.
Also to Reading as well. Also to Reading. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
I would love... You know how at Stamford Bridge they have the banners for male players that go up all the time? And they have players like Peter Osgood on there and, the proper history of the club. Incidentally, most metal fact ever about football, I didn't realise Peter Osgood is buried under the penalty spot at the shed end. So, that's a hardcore football thing. But
yeah,
I was saying the other day, I would love the equivalent of those banners, but for female players that just stay up there all the time at Stamford Bridge or Kings Meadow or wherever. And I was talking to Matthew, who obviously is a Chelsea fan, and he and I worked together on sport shows and stuff. And we decided that of the 5 Chelsea banners, if you're writing them, Fran Kirby is the one in the middle, and then you have maybe Millie Bright and Ji So-yeon on the other side. Perhaps Lauren James as well, perhaps Sam Kerr, but I don't know. But if the first banner, the first commemorative banner you'd have to put up is Fran Kirby. Just because, people say what she means to Chelsea. And the fact that we're all talking about it with such warmth, you two Chelsea fans, but me and Freya not, but still just says something about it. I was genuinely moved by finding out she was going to leave Chelsea. It's going to look wrong, her in another shirt next season for the first couple of games until people get used to it.
I think it'll take a while. It's not blue. What was she doing? Where is she going? But yeah, would you see her in any other team? Because a couple of people say, she'll go to Spurs. That's another WSL team. But because considering what the reaction was on Beth.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, Arsenal and Man City, you know, before she came to Chelsea, were in the running for Fran. I think City were willing to pay like 200,000, which in 2015 is a heck of a lot of money.
Yeah.
But we got like 60 to 80,000, which, looking back now, that's an absolute bargain. Like, yeah. So it's
investment.
Yeah, it'll be weird to see her in a different shirt, but hey, another shirt I can buy with Fran on the back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But are we allowed to buy other shirts?
Yeah. If it's a favourite place, yeah.
Good, you heard it here first.
We're
allowed different shirts. Brilliant. Yeah, it's I just can't wait for that announcement where it's like, okay, well, where is she going? So we will happily play Rumour Roulette for the rest of the summer. Yeah, anywhere in the south could be a good shot. I mean, Sophie, she could go to Brighton.
Perfect. I love Brighton.
We could have a day trip down in Brighton, couldn't we? That'd be quite nice to get fish and chips. We'll go see Fran. And of course the rest of the Brighton team, shout out to them. But yeah, we'll all go have a lovely time. Still blue in the shirt.
True.
So
can't go to a red team. Can't have that.
But yeah, I think we've settled it. So Brighton, and then we can all have a day out. So Fran, if you're watching, Brighton, please. Be a nice weekend for us all. And Sophie said, Sophie, you're on one tonight. Thank you very much. There's 5 London teams in the WSL next season, which begs the question just briefly, are we ready yet? Because I did say something interesting, so let's hear your opinions. If we were to expand the WSL maybe to another team or two and have a year without relegation to get everyone in, everyone settled, investment, get it all sorted, and then the next season bring back relegation, do we think that would work? Because a bit like the NWSL, it's like a closed league, isn't it? And you just kind of have your whatever. So not like a permanent no relegation, but just as a one-off to kind of get people sorted, settled. What do we think? Could that be a possibility?
Sort of like the spring series where nobody... Yeah. I think
kind of a bridge in the gap type, because we've all seen the gap between the Championship and the WSL. What do we think?
Yeah.
Could it work?
Could work, but then part of me is like, oh, no relegation. It doesn't sit right.
But it's again, it's whatever Newcore. Again, we're putting loads of stuff on Newcore to get this sorted, but something needs to change, doesn't it? And it all comes down to investment in clubs and blah blah blah. But yeah, it'd be nice for something to bridge the gap. So yeah, maybe something could come into it in the future. Lovely. And of course, we haven't talked about it yet. Emma Hayes, her leaving message. Now, people took this in lots of different ways. So she built it all up. We were all waiting. So, by the way, Sky Sports covered it phenomenally. So, BBC for next time, this is how you do coverage of massive legends leaving. So, it was the build-up, it was the interviews, it was everything. She had her son out with her. And then she says the iconic, and if there's any children listening, I hope not, should be in bed. She said, and I quote, "It's not fucking over, so buy your tickets."
Oh, Harry.
Yeah, sorry, Harry. As an extra. Now, a lot of people have gone, oh, she swore in front of her son. She shouldn't have done that. How dare she? It's live TV. Could we, I mean, swearing in front of your kids isn't great, but for that moment of her and just being completely Emma and her passion, have we forgiven her for it? Or was it a no-no for live TV in front of her son?
Yeah, we forgive her. She went from manager Emma to parent Emma real quick. Come on, people don't know.
It's completely between the two. Yeah, Rosie, what do you reckon?
Well, I'm not surprised. I completely expected her to drop the F-bomb. It's Emma Hayes. Like,
It was sorry Harry that made it afterwards.
Yeah.
he wasn't paying attention anyway, so.
No, bless it. I mean, he was having a great time. He was waving to people. He was having a great time. Yeah, maybe if she'd gone cover your ears and he just kind of had a moment of of doing that. Paul, was that a little shake of your head there?
No, it wasn't. It was
Okay.
a move. I think the controversy, such as it was about it, doesn't even happen. If that's Eric Ten Hag or if that's Mikel Arteta or anyone else caught doing that on Sky in an interview, nobody says a thing. And I think that sums up the double standard, perhaps, between the way the men's and women's game is covered. You know, football's a passionate game.
Yeah.
Emma Hayes was being Emma Hayes. It's one swear word. You know, the commentators go, sorry about that, it's live telly, and everyone moves on. So the fact that anybody had a problem with it says more about the way women's football is covered and still, I can't say the word properly, infantilized by people, and it really shouldn't. Absolutely no problem with it at all.
No, and that was the thing. It wasn't as if she was dropping them every couple of seconds, was it? It was used for impact, and it was very much, we're still in the race, we're here, we're going to fight, we're going to do it. And as Matthew said, you know, Emma Hayes, what you see is what you get. And yeah, couldn't have been more iconic if she ended it with a mic drop. Yeah, absolutely. So just said, do we remember Lucia Garcia's I'm so fucking tired at the start of the season? We do need one at least a season. So yeah, if we could just keep dropping those clangers every now and again, that would be that would be great, because women do swear. It is a thing. I've just done it to prove my point. But it is a thing. It's an emotion. It's okay. As long as, you know, it's appropriate. It's not been offensive. But yeah, it's passionate, like Paul said. Like it's gonna happen. It's not
I now want Chelsea to win the title just so Emma Hayes can go up to a camera and scream, fucking get in. Like on purpose. That is how you finish a tenure.
I'm not trying to get promoted, so
I mean, Paul, that's a complete 180 to what we've been thinking the past few weeks.
You're saying the 8-0 Sorry, 8 goals not enough for you.
Got to keep going. So yeah, Emma Hayes leaving us with one of the best moments of the season. So I mean, what we're going to do when she's gone? Where's the drama going to come from? Who's going to take her place? Well, Sonia Bonpastor, if she does eventually seal the deal. I don't think she's that much drama from what I've seen. Not that I know her. But yeah,
I think I saw someone in the French press that said she's a bit of a laugh. So
good.
Apparently she speaks very good English, so that's good.
Incredible. We're going to have to make her talk like Emma Hayes, though. Like, we'll have to get her with a proper accent so she can proper take over the reins of that one, like a proper Londoner. Yeah, Emma. Mark Skinner will become the drama. He already is that. He is the original drama llama. Don't worry. He's not going anywhere, unfortunately, with that one. But yeah, we are incredibly sad that Fran and Maren are leaving Chelsea, but they're not retiring, thank God. They will show up at some point. We just don't know where yet. There was one more rumour I wanted to ask you all about. Apparently, we've all heard about Barcelona. There's a couple of contracts there still up for negotiation. Mariona Caldente has been rumoured to possibly join the ranks of Chelsea. Now, she's a forward, can play across the front line. I mean, would you like to see her in a blue shirt? She's got Champions League experience.
I think it's a bit of a soft spot.
I was just waiting for the cat to answer.
I don't want to think about any Barclays Chelsea.
I was waiting to see if anyone would react there. I was kind of like, "Guys, don't let me down."
Who's going to take it?
Just leave me to it. Okay, if they hadn't have done the thing they did, would you have taken it?
Probably
Probably.
would.
Maybe ask me in a month and I might feel differently. It's just still a bit sore.
Okay, 8th of June, I'll come back to you. Right, brilliant. But yeah, so that is the latest transfer news with Marion Caldente. So possibly we could have another Champions League winner within the WSL. Oh no, I did have another Chelsea question. Aggie Beever-Jones, is she ready for her England senior call-up for the next lot of games?
Yep.
Yes, good.
There
There was only one answer. Thank you very much. Yeah, because what England have been missing is a consistent goal scorer, and she's certainly proven to be just that. So, again, Serena, if you're listening, if you could just pick her, that'd be great.
We'll be having words if that doesn't happen.
Yeah, we'll be getting onto Serena and being like, "Oi, what are you doing?"
If you look at Alessia Russo's stats in the WSL, they are very similar to Aggie's, and Aggie's are sometimes even a little bit better. And Aggie's not played that many minutes. It's just
well, we've all said Russo isn't a striker. Like, she's not, and that's okay. Just people stop putting her as a striker because she's not. She's a 10. She's happy. She's good. But yeah, good question. Will Serena use her? Probably not.
she's
But,
Grace Simpson, so that's something. I
yeah,
think Grace
well,
kind of wedged her way into the squad, so Aggie could do the same.
true. Yeah. Because I'm sure Aggie's been involved in those conversations before, hasn't she? I'm sure Serena's mentioned something and hinted at it. So hopefully she gets.
She's been watching her for a while, so.
Yeah, and it's natural progression.
I
like she is
I
going to
thought-
get there. We know she's going to get there. But yeah, Paul.
I thought Rosie was going to nick my tweet then when she was talking about Aggie's stats. So the actual stats, which you know, in true calm, not at all trying to stir the pot fashion, I did put up on Twitter a couple of days ago. Aggie Beever-Jones, 11 WSL goals this season, 547 minutes, which is one more goal than Alessia Russo and a third of the minutes.
Wow.
So the golf
She's
is
impressive.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we need that we haven't had since Alan White's being retired. We just need someone up front banging in the goals with that one. So yes, we'll keep everything crossed that she not only will be selected, but actually get some game time as well. That's what we need from our Aggie. Right. I think I've only got one more thing to ask people then. So FA Cup final this weekend. I think I kind of already know the answer to this, but it's going to be Spurs United. First time, so again, correct me if I'm wrong, United have been to the final before, but have never won. Spurs never have been to a final. I think I'm right in saying that. So regardless of who wins, it's going to be a new champion. And we've kind of hinted at it, but let's kind of go around, see what we all think. Chloe, what do you think is going to be the outcome? We'll do it. Hang on. We'll do head versus heart. Okay. So what do you think is going to happen? And what do you hope is going to happen if they are different or if they're the same thing?
I think they're both the same, really. Spurs are going to win.
Spurs, just Spurs. Same as Emma, really. Spurs. All of the Spurs. Rosie, what do you think and what do you hope?
I mean, I don't know if I could say what Emma said as a true Chelsea fan, but I do want Spurs to win. I just think, I mean, my dislike for United aside, it's they've never been to the final. And obviously gutted the Grace Clinton can't play again.
Yeah.
But I just think they've had a good season, and I would just like them to win it. I think they're a good squad, good team of players. and I think they do have it in them to win.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be close, is what I'm saying. I think either 1-0 or a 2-1. It's going to be very close. Maybe a late winner from Martha Thomas, as we mentioned earlier. But yeah, I think everybody do think they can win it.
Yeah, could you imagine just Martha Thomas kind of 90, I don't know, 105th minute or something, because there's been like 15 minutes of injury time added on. And she just steps up and she's like, yeah, banging it straight in. Oh, imagine the drama. Paul, I can kind of guess your answer, but what what do you hope and want or expect for this weekend?
What I hope, 3 or 4-0 Spurs. Just properly annihilate Man United. What I expect is 2 or 3-0 Spurs. Because it's just like, it's like football Star Wars. It's just rooting for Mark Skinner or Man United in that game is like rooting for Darth Vader in Star Wars. You just don't. Like,
because they're both red.
You know, it's like watching Escape to Victory and rooting for the Germans. It's just, you don't. You know, it's like,
oh, Paul.
on every single level. unless you are actually a Man United fan, and even then it's pushing it. You want Spurs to win this because Robert Villaham is a much nicer. He just seems a much nicer manager. Spurs are a more attractive team. They've got better stories behind them, and I just think. I mean, I'm biased as a Coventry City fan, and I'm biased about Manchester United in the FA Cup at this point. We all know why, but I do not want Manchester United to win the FA Cup. I just don't. And then, like, I don't want Mark Skinner to win a trophy. He doesn't deserve it, in my opinion. Yes, that is personal bias, but that's what it is.
Yeah, because we said a while ago, didn't we, about how if they win the league, we said something about, you know, we don't want them, would fans want them not to win it purely to show Mark Skinner can't do it? And I remember there was a bit of backlash from that statement. But it's that thing of, if he did win it, it would feel like a hollow victory because of everything else that's gone wrong. It would seem like that would be kind of his redemption arc, almost. Like, oh yeah, we can still win trophies. Doesn't matter about the league. Doesn't matter about anything else. So yeah, it's one of those things where you just think, I really want Spurs to come out because, like you said, those stats at the weekend, the amount of shots, if they could just convert more of those shots on target, just imagine that scoreline. But it is sold out, the final. Wembley is a sellout. And I think they have 12,000 club tickets at each end, plus however many thousands for the neutrals as well. So the fact that loads of people bought tickets without knowing who was going to be in the final was phenomenal anyway. But the fact that they have completely sold out is mad. And yeah, as Emma's rightly said, it's his get out of jail free card. Yeah, absolutely. So we are all Team Spurs. We are all Team Chaos this week. And we can't wait to see what happens. Yeah, just for the day, Rosie. It's okay. Just for the match. You don't have to commit. You don't have to buy the mushroom jersey. It's okay. You are free. You do not have to be a mushroom. It's okay.
It's betting than winning a trophy. Just think of it that way.
Yeah, think of that. She deserves one because, well, she does, but she does anyway with that one. So yeah, so Spurs win. We are predicting it all. And just in case anyone's interested, it was the UEFA Under-17 Women's Championships, currently ongoing. Sweden versus England were on this evening, including Sunderland player Emily Cassep. She was there as well. And England won 5-1. against Sweden. Just to let everyone know that we're doing quite well in the under-17s. And they're all free to watch on the UEFA app if anyone watching is interested. They give you a nice little notification, then you can log in and watch it, which is lovely. Now, that brings us to the end, I believe. So let's have a quick look at the table, how it stands. As we can see, Bristol City, bless them, officially relegated for a couple of weeks now on 6 points. Aston Villa have secured 7th. So we said battle for middle bottom has been confirmed. They are getting 7th regardless. So not, 5th was better last year, but 7th is still respectable. So still take it. And then we get to the exciting half of the table. So Spurs at 28 points in 6th place. Man United on 35 points in 5th place. Liverpool having a brilliant season, 38 points in 4th place. And then we get to Arsenal, 47 points. Chelsea, 49. Man City, 52. Now, that brings it back down to goal difference. So Chelsea do still have a game in hand. They've got Spurs on Wednesday the 15th. So next time we see everyone, there will be a game happening live. So get ready for more live reactions on that one because we thoroughly enjoyed it last time. And yeah, we can't wait. Rosie, you think they're going to do it? Get the win?
Yeah, next Wednesday. I wasn't going to go, but then Emma told me to buy tickets. So...
And you're scared to go against what Emma says at this point. So
it's a bit of a trek to North London, but it'll be fine.
You'll survive. We believe in you. Just keep us updated with the journey. Yeah,
I'm excited. I don't know if we can get quite a few goals in. I just want to win, to be honest. We love it.
And to not concede as well. That'll be a massive one as well for that goal difference. Absolutely. Chloe, do you think they're going to win? Spurs, Chelsea?
Yeah, I'm hoping for us to win.
Everything, whole body crossed at this point, even your eyes crossed.
We're pretty much in charge on the final day. Yeah, just a win, whether it's 1-0.
Because isn't it Chelsea United on the final day?
Yep. We've had that time before where we've gone to them on the final day and won the title on the final day against them.
I just love the fact that it's going to be City at Villa Park and then it's at Old Trafford, isn't it? The final game. So the trophy is just going to be like in the middle of the motorway, ready to kind of go between the two. Like, which way do we go?
Yeah.
I think it'd be 2 different trophies.
Yeah, they have one in each round.
No, it's one, and they've got to choose. It's more exciting than 2 people.
Wasn't it in a helicopter last season?
In a helicopter?
Yeah, it was in a helicopter to hover between Meadow Park and Kings Meadow.
Oh, I love that. That's the most London thing. We're just going to put a trophy in a helicopter and we're going to hover it above the grounds and hope for the best. Land on the football field with the trophy coming out of it like that. Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be Uber Kiel Services on the M6.
Oh God, can you imagine? Yeah. A bit further, Villa Park and Old Trafford. A little bit more of a journey with that one. But yeah, so we are rooting for Spurs and then Chelsea to win against Spurs. Spurs the following week for their catch-up game. So I believe that is everything. Does anyone else have any comments before we go? Anything we've missed? I don't think so. I think we've been pretty thorough. Yeah, perfect. Now, I remembered I didn't do this last week. Whoops. So if you would like to see more of us, because of course, why wouldn't you? Remember, it's not just us. There are other Absolute Football shows as well with the Premier League and the lower leagues. So you can catch them on Mondays and Thursdays. And of course, we are 30. So you can see we are across all social media at varying degrees of at Absolute Ball Pod. So Twitter or X, wherever we're calling it, at Absolute Ball Pod. YouTube, we're here at Absolute Football Podcast. TikTok at Absolute Football Pod. Instagram, Absolute Football Podcast _. Same on Threads as well. and of course, Facebook, the Absolute Football Podcast, where you can keep up to date with all of us and all of the goings on. Now, so make sure you do like and subscribe. And as Josh says, an angel gains its wings every time that you do like, follow, and subscribe. But of course, I can never do this by myself. So thank you to the lovely team for joining me tonight. Chloe, if people would like to hear more from you, where can they find you?
They can follow me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at EMG Lionesses.
Perfect. And thank you very much. And Rosie, thank you to you as well. Where can people find you?
I'm not doing the point things. I always get it wrong. Rosie Dawson, one this way. Okay.
It's what you think it is.
Rosie Dawson 144 on Twitter, Rosie Dawson.14 on Instagram and TikTok.
Perfect. Paul, thank you to you. If people would like to hear more of your fantastic one-liners, where can they find you?
I practiced. I got to practice while Rosie was doing the point there. At Paul W Radio, probably shouting about Stina Blackstenius or Mark Skinner in that order, or Coventry City, and hopefully soon on TikTok as well.
Oh, heard it here first. Well, we'll watch out and we'll all give you a follow. And yeah, as Sam has rightly said, let us know any special shows people want us to cover over the summer. We do have some things in store, but yeah, if there's anything you want us to cover in particular, do let us know. Give us a shout. And if you'd like to see more of me and my ramblings, they're about the Eurovision semi-final last night. So I'm not just football. I am very versatile. You can find me here at T4T Rights on Twitter. I'm the same on Instagram, I believe. And I'm the whole 115 yards on TikTok. So you can give me a shout there as well. So thank you very much to our lovely team. Hey?
You pointed the wrong way.
That's on my screen. Right, I'm taking a picture because you don't believe it.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, because for me it's over here, but then I watched the clip and it was over here.
Yeah, right.
You were doing it right.
Okay, well, look, my screen. Look, pointing.
Yeah,
to
that's
the
it. I point here. Then that's right.
Okay. Well, for the playback, Emma, thank you very much. Confident point. Yeah, it's fine. Am I there? Is that better? Yeah.
You're there now.
There we go. Now I'm pointing to my scarf. Like, can we just no? I need evidence of this. Right. Okay. Right.
It's all right. We can edit that out.
Right, I'm not pointing anymore. I'm not doing it. I refuse. I'm leaving. Right. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you to everyone for joining us, for joining in the chat and everything. Remember, we're always here Wednesdays at 8:30. So come and join us again next week. So thank you very much. Good evening and goodbye.